Welcome to the series of videos showing you important things that you need to be able to do with your horse. I'm Mary Delton from EquiHorse.com and horse-training-videos.com. Don't forget those dashes. And we're going to talk today about bandaging your horse's legs. And it's important because you may have to do it if the horse gets injured, or you may simply want to do it while you're riding your horse. We have two types of bandages that are mainly the kinds used when you wrap your horse's legs. This is a polo bandage, and it's a thick bandage, and it's not quite as long as what we call a standing bandage, or a racetrack bandage. You can call them different names, but you can see the difference in the thicknesses of them, and this is even longer and it's thinner than that. Each one of them has a little bit of stretch to it, and that's important. And what's important about it is that you're going to pull it to get it tight, but what you want to make sure you don't do is you do not want to pull it against your horse's tendon. You do not want to put pressure on the horse's tendon, and you do not want to put any kind of uneven pressure on the horse's leg. So you have to pay particular attention to that when you're wrapping your horse. People will use a polo bandage when they're riding their horse to prevent their horse from kicking itself. Dressage riders in particular like to use these, and they wrap all four legs. And if you wrap with white, it helps the instructor see the horse's legs and be able to pick up a problem, perhaps if the horse is not moving equally behind or in front or something. A standing wrap is generally used if you have a horse that, say you're going to ship him somewhere on a trailer and you want to wrap his legs for support, or you have a horse that has a wound on its leg and you need to put some medicine there and then a sterile gauze, and then you put a pillow wrap or a thick wrap, which is not a wrap in the sense that these are, but it's just a wrap that may be 12 inches by, I don't know, 14 inches, and it just goes around the leg before you put the standing wrap on, which holds everything together. The polo wrap is what we're going to demonstrate with today, and I think that we're ready to start because the horse is ready and waiting for us, so let's get started. Thanks. Today's lesson is going to be about wrapping a horse's leg. This could be applicable to any of the four legs. I'm just going to show you on one. The main thing that you have to be concerned about is the tendons on the back of the leg. They are sensitive to uneven pressure being applied to them, and you do not want to put any uneven pressure. It's not so critical with wrapping with a polo bandage like I have here, because this is only going to be left on the horse for maybe an hour. But if you're using standing wraps and you're going to leave a bandage on a longer time, you have to be very careful that you don't put uneven pressure on this tendon. The bone is in the front, this is the cannon bone, and you can put the pressure on the cannon bone, because when you wrap, you always are pulling at some point. You want to always pull against that cannon bone, not against this tendon. So I've got a polo wrap that's already ready to wrap. It is rolled up in the proper way so that the Velcro on the end is going to come out at the back when we're done. So I want to just show you how to do this. The other thing I want to point out is that since you're always going to be doing any of the pulling when you're doing the wrapping against the cannon bone, if you're wrapping this direction, you're pulling this way. If you're going to wrap in this direction, you're pulling here. If you're wrapping in this direction, that's counterclockwise. If you're wrapping in this direction, it's clockwise. Just like people are right and left-handed, people have a preference for wrapping clockwise or counterclockwise. I happen to like to do it clockwise. It's fine either direction you feel comfortable doing it. However, just make sure when you do the pull to tighten the bandage, you do not pull against the tendon. So let me show you on this wrap. I'm going to start by having the end of the wrap here. You do not want the end of the wrap on the tendon. You want it off of the tendon. So I'm going to put it, say, over here, and I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to just fold this around and try to keep it as tight as I can. Then I'm going to hold it here and pull against the cannon bone, pulling here, but I'm holding the bandage on this side too. And just keep wrapping. We're going to wrap down the leg, pull here, let it roll out here, back here. Now pull here because you're really pulling mostly against the cannon bone. Wrap here, pull here, continue the wrap, always pulling on the side that you'd be pulling against the bone and not the tendon. In other words, if I pulled here, I'd be pulling against the tendon. So just lay the wrap down there. And then when you get here, give a little pull. Lay the wrap down, get over to this side, give a little pull. Lay the wrap down, get over to this side, give a little pull. Lay the wrap down, get over here, give a little pull, lay the wrap down, and now you see here's the Velcro starting to unroll, and the Velcro comes right around and it wraps, and you've got a nice wrapped front leg. And you can feel, and you'll have to practice this to get the feeling for when it's correct, but it's kind of tight. It's not too loose, it's not too tight. You'll just get used to the way it feels and how it's correct when you do it a few times. And when you first do it, I would start with polo wraps and ride the horse, because if it's too loose, when you ride the horse, it'll start unraveling and get loose and fall down. And then you'll know, oh, that was too loose. So the next time you do it a little bit tighter. And you do it so that it doesn't come off the horse when you're riding it, but you don't want it to be too tight. So now I'm going to just unwrap this leg and show you one other quick thing. I'm going to unwrap this bandage. I want you to see how the Velcro is. When you buy a set of wraps, they will be rolled up in the package. It'll look really nice. Do not use them that way because they're not rolled up correctly for applying to a horse's leg. They'll be rolled, instead of being rolled from the end, when you want to roll it to put on the horse's leg, you have to roll it so that the Velcro, which is here on the bandage, this is the hooks part of the Velcro, and this is the other part that's soft. You want that so that when you unroll the bandage, that comes out, and so it's going to roll back on itself. So when you roll it for a horse to use as a wrap, you start at this end and you roll it in so that you're tucking this in, so when you undo the wrap, it comes out at the end. Now, when they wrap them to sell them, they wrap them from the other end so that they have this to wrap around and hold them together. So when you get a new set of bandages, unwrap them and re-roll them. So that's how you wrap a leg. Again, the main point is pull, do any of your pulling, which is when you pull, you're towards the back of the leg, but you're going to pull against the cannon bone. You're never going to pull towards the front. Whether it's a front leg or a back leg, you're always going to pull towards the back, whether you're rolling it clockwise or whether you're rolling it counterclockwise. And that way you'll keep your horse's legs healthy. You will not put strain on their tendons. So practice that, and we'll come up with something else for next time.